Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope that we're doing well. Welcome to our webinar this morning, hosted by MPW, Amanda Portman-Woodward, and in collaboration with NCUK and Durham University. So thank you for waking up early on a Friday morning and joining us today. Obviously, if you haven't made it today, we will also be recording this session and it will be available through marketing channels as well. So do not worry if you are viewing this in hindsight, and I'm sure that my colleague Damalola at the end of the session will also be sharing the contact details in case you have any questions that you didn't get to ask today. So many of you may have never heard of MPW before. MPW stands for Amanda Portman-Woodward. It's an unusual name. These are the surnames of 3 Cambridge graduates who came together almost 50 years ago now, 1973, to establish a tutorial college in London with the view of making it easier for students to gain access into top universities. Now, almost 50 years later, we now have 3 branches. So we've got London, we've got Birmingham, and we also have Cambridge. And more recently, we have started recruiting international students over the last 15 years. So the NCUK Foundation Year, which we started running a few years ago, is one of the ways in which we can really support you as international students to gain places at top UK universities. This is a program that is designed especially for international students. We have 9 Russell Group universities in the portfolio, and I'm really pleased today to be joined by Mr. Adam Connor, who is Market Development Manager at NCUK, who will be able to provide you with a little bit more information about these qualifications. So I'll hand over to you, Adam.
Thanks a lot, James. So I'll just share my screen and we can get started. Okay, can you all see this now?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So thanks for the intro, James. I'm Adam at NCUK. So NCUK, we're a pathway provider who work in partnership with study centres to deliver our qualifications, and MPW being one of our top partners who've been running our qualifications now for a number of years, both in Birmingham and in Cambridge. We've been running for more than 30 years, and we've helped over 35,000 students into universities across the UK and in English-speaking countries. So we've a vast amount of experience in helping international students. Our qualifications are only for international students. It's designed solely for international students to be able to adapt to life in the UK, to pursue an academic career, and then hopefully to go into long, successful vocations afterwards. You can see here a little potted history. I'm not going to go into all of this, but just to really strengthen what I was saying about how long that NCUK has been operating. We started in 1987, and then over the years we've moved into different countries. You can see Kenya, 1995, China a few years later, and then really across the world. And now we've established more than 100 partners in more than 30 countries. But the UK being really where a large number of students want to come, MPW being one of the strongest partners, and we find that the mix of NCUK, an established qualification with extremely strong university links, and MPW, an extremely well-established school with long history, really work to complement each other. NCUK universities, these are our partner universities where you're guaranteed access to. If you study the foundation, or the IFY, the International Foundation Year, you study the IFY at MPW, you have access to all of these universities. You can go on to study degrees in any field by studying at MPW. You can see at the top, going towards the middle, these are the UK universities, which include many Russell Group universities such as Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, but also universities specialising in other fields. If you want to go into sports-related courses at places like Liverpool John Moores, or you want to go into media ones, where somewhere like Salford, with its Media City location, would be perfect for you. We find that our universities really offer something for everyone. And then beyond the middle, you can see we have Australian universities, New Zealand, Canada, New York, California in the US, and the University of Southampton in Malaysia there. We really have an array of places for you to study after studying at MPW. And doing the foundation mean that all of those universities are available from the same foundation. So how does the foundation work? Well, by studying the NCUK International Foundation Year, you're provided with a pathway to study and gain your bachelor's degree in any of those countries I mentioned. You can see at the bottom of this page here how we work. You'll have studied your local secondary education, and then you'll go on to do the IFY, which in this case would be at MPW, and then you'll progress to do your degree at university, which in the UK will typically be 3 years. So the foundation and 3 years at university will result in you getting a full degree. So how do we work with a study centre? Well, NCUK, we develop the programs, we provide the structure and content. The teaching is done by MPW, and our partners teach the program worldwide. NCUK, we design the assessment. We do that in conjunction with the universities to make sure that it's modern, it's up to date, it's refreshed annually. But MPW, with their experience, they teach that using their vastly experienced teachers. The IFY itself, well, you'll do 3 modules and 1 English module. The 3 modules, just like A-level, if you're familiar with them, you'll do 3 different subjects, and then together the university will assess your grades on those. If you want to do something like medicine, well, most likely you'll be looking to do biology, chemistry, and mathematics for science. But if your interests are a little bit more varied, you're not sure what degree you want to go into, you might like to do something like a humanities stream where you'll do modules such as government and politics or art and design. Flexibility really around what degree you want to go into. You'll also, as I mentioned, do the English module. You can see here that EAP, English for Academic Purposes, is our standard module. That's for students who maybe need to get their English up to the required level at university. But as many people listening today will be from countries where people's standard of English is excellent, if not already fluent speaker, well, then you'd be looking to do something like the RCS, the Research and Communication Skills. This module is designed for high-level English speakers where they'll study more research, referencing, giving presentations, all of the skills that you need to be successful at university, even if you're already able to speak English. What that means is that when you study at MPW, the English module will be perfect for your ability level. If you need to build your English, that will be fine. If your English is already at a high level, MPW will make sure that you're gaining extra skills to really help you once you progress to university. Here is a little bit more about the English for Academic Purposes module, if that's most relevant to you. It's structured in a similar way to how IELTS is graded, with a writing, reading, listening, and speaking grade. And together, you'll get an overall mark which is comparable to IELTS. And so universities, if they're asking for IELTS 7, you'll only need to achieve the A in the English module, 6.5B, 6C. That means you don't need IELTS or any other English qualification when you study the foundation. You'll do this module and then the universities will accept you based on this module. You don't need to spend money, time and effort into doing any additional English qualification. So why choose NCUK? Well, I wanted to include a mix of the universities, some of the special aspects to them which maybe you were not aware of. The Russell Group universities, like I mentioned before, are obviously extremely popular, but we've chosen to work with universities that we feel offer something to everybody. So here, a couple of examples. Aston University, well, that's featured as one of the world's most international universities, a big array of international students studying there. Birmingham, top 2% of the world's universities, an obvious choice to study. Universities such as Bradford that you might not be as familiar with, well, their Triple Crown accreditation means that they've got a fantastic MBA program. Bristol, wonderful graduate prospects. Huddersfield, placement opportunities for every student. So if you want to study and you want a work placement built into your degree, that's available for every student there. Kent, 90% and above student satisfaction in a recent survey. So truly something to offer everybody. Again, in more examples here, Kingston, very good art and design university. Moving down the list, you can see other attributes for each of these universities. So if you're not sure where you want to study, MPW in conjunction with NCUK will be able to give you that support. We can guide you, we can recommend which university is ideal for you. We work with all of the universities so that we can really find what is the best fit for each of our students. Some students will already know what they want to study. They'll already know what degree they want to do. That's fine. We'll do everything to help you in that direction. Other students will come to MPW not sure where they want to progress, not sure what's best for them. We will help you to make that decision during the course of your IFY. And again, just a few more where you can see some of the great achievements and some of the great attributes of NCUK partner universities. We have a course finder. If you want to search for what degrees are available after studying the IFY, you can use this course finder, which is on the NCUK website, and you can search for any degree title and it will show you which universities you can go to study that degree. All of them will be available through MPW. So when you see the degree and you see the university on the NCUK course finder, you can be sure that you can progress to that after studying the IFY with MPW. I would recommend that you speak to MPW if you're not sure about any of these. I'll also add the address into the chat after I finished speaking as well. We have an NCUK guarantee. So the guarantee is that if you study the IFY, you'll benefit from it. There's guaranteed choice. Choose from hundreds, if not really thousands of degree courses. Guaranteed quality. Our qualifications are designed with universities specifically for international students, as I mentioned. Guaranteed support. We will guide you through the entire application process, and guaranteed access. Gain access to universities around the world. So what does the guaranteed access mean? Well, it means that when you complete the foundation, when you've passed the course, you are guaranteed to get offers from NCUK partner universities. We can never say 100% you'll get your first choice, although in reality, 90% of students get their first choice. But universities like Manchester might get 100 applications for 10 places. But we can tell you that you've got as good a chance as any other similar qualification, and you will get offers from NCUK universities. I mentioned then the guaranteed support that you get. Well, NCUK has a dedicated student support team, and they work in collaboration with all of our centres. So they'll work with MPW to make sure that your application is as good as it could possibly be, that you meet any deadlines, you're aware of any offers that are being made, and you can meet any requirements that are asked of you, and all the way through till enrolment. And when you begin at university, you will get that support. Universities such as today with Durham joining, you'll get visits, you can speak to universities, learn what they have to offer. We really do everything to make sure that you make the most informed decision possible. And that's me. I've put here any questions. We're going to hand over to James and leave the questions until the end when we can all speak. So thank you very much. And James, it's back to you.
Fantastic. Good, good. So Adam mentioned that he's going to be writing something in the chat box. So you might see that popping up on your screens. When you see your access to the chat box, if you haven't already found it, then that's a great place where you can start to submit your questions throughout today's session. So brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam, for your introduction to NCUK. And as you might have gathered, NCUK is a really, really established qualification. It's delivered in many delivery centres around the world, but MPW offers quite a unique learning environment and quite a unique delivery of the course. So in terms of what makes us quite unique, we have small class sizes. So we always have a maximum of 14 students in our foundation courses. One of the most distinct things about us, though, is the fact that we have a student body which is quite similar to UK universities. So within a typical MPW college, you will have 70% domestic British students and 30% international students. And we're very pleased to be able to say that our international students, typically on an annual basis, come from around 80 different countries around the world. So you have that really great opportunity to come to the UK and make lots of friends from lots of different places and just really kind of get used to meeting people from different cultures before you start at university the following year. Now, we're delivering this qualification in both Birmingham and in Cambridge, so two outstanding and very different locations. Cambridge is very traditional, it's very historical, and it's built up around the University of Cambridge. So it's a nice, inspiring place to study, and it's also quite a nice and calm place to study as well. Birmingham, on the other hand, is a much bigger city. It's quite vibrant, it's quite dynamic, it's very diverse as well. So, you know, have a think about these two different cities, have a think about which is the right study environment for you. The other great thing about Birmingham, of course, is that we have two guaranteed progressions within the city of Birmingham itself. University of Birmingham and Aston University of Birmingham, which are definitely two of our most popular progressions for our students. Good, good. So we're pleased today to be joined as well by Dr. Liadi Mudashiru from Durham University. So, hi, Dr. Liadi, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Good, good. So I'll hand over to you, and it would be great if you could let our participants know today a little bit more about probably one of the most prominent NCUK partner universities.
Oh, thank you. I want to thank colleagues for the opportunity to come and talk about Durham University here. The MPW as well as NCUK, we are very proud partners of both organizations, and we're, I mean, as a Durham University, I guess a number of you might have heard about Durham University, or even if not, I want to start by saying my name is Dr. Mudashiru, and you can see from my name, I'm of African background, specifically from Nigeria, and I can see the range of participants here from the names. I can see various names that are associated very closely with Nigeria, and of course, I also look after Durham's operation across Africa. So I joined Durham about 7 years ago. Before I started at Durham University, my background is in academic. With first degree in chemistry, then I went on to do things in the area of geochemistry and research and academic for about 10 years before I then joined Durham University. In the context of Durham University, as a university, it's been introduced by my colleagues, both Adam and James. We're a very top university, part of the very elitist kind of university that has been mentioned, the Rosette Group of University. Consistently, we are within the top 5 universities in the UK. We're a top 100 university in the world. We're a very international university. We are ranked number 25 in the world presently as the most international university in the world. Presently, we have a lot of students across Africa that are represented here in our university. The largest concentration of those are students from Nigeria, where we have about 60 students from Nigeria who are currently studying here. Then that's followed by students from South Africa, where we have about 40 students. Then followed by Kenya, where we have about 35 students studying here. Then we have a wide range of other students coming here to study from Sudan, because here in Durham University, we have one of the largest Sudan archives in the world outside Sudan. So it's very, very popular for students coming from Sudan, of course, our neighboring countries, Ghana, and a wide range of Eastern African countries, Zimbabwe and South African countries, Botswana and the rest. So what I wanted to say, I wanted to use this opportunity to ensure that I introduce Durham to you guys, in the context of our work that we are doing very closely with MPW and NCUK, to say that Durham as a partner within this consortium, within this program, we'll be happy to welcome applications from all these. Once you have successfully completed from MPW, we'll be happy to welcome applications from you guys. And what Durham offers is that it provides you with the opportunity to continue to build on the success and the support that you've been given from your International Foundation year, and also the opportunity to continue to enrich you both personally in terms of a personal development, as well as an opportunity to continue to excel in your academics. And I want to see that has been highlighted, the sort of university that you go matters a lot. Because more often than not, when you graduate from a university, and I'm sure colleagues that are joining us from Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa, we appreciate that people value wherever you go. They say, where did you graduate from? And I think that carries a lot of weight. What I want to do quickly, I don't know, James, are you able to help me show one of the videos? I have a 2-minute video to highlight which summarizes how inspiring and extraordinary that we inspire here at Durham University, that sort of encapsulate the work that we do. Please, the first video, please, James. This is just 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd be happy to see it. So if you're able to share your screen.
No, I saw it on the chat. I sent it to you via the chat. Maybe you were talking at the time. I sent the link.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me open this up, and I will share my screen so that everybody can see it.
Oh, really appreciate it. But in the meantime, as a university, we are located, why James is putting that on the screen. As a university, we are located in the northeast of England. The nearest airport is Newcastle International Airport, which is just about 20 minutes away from Durham itself. And as a university, we are top university in the northeast of England, as we are within the top 5 universities in the country. Because of our position, we have a small student size. As a university, we have in the region of about 20,000 students coming to study here, and about 25% of our student population from over 180 countries. So we have a very, very good reputation. And as a university, we've been around for almost 200 years. We were established in 1842. And we've been doing that. Oh, thank you so much, James. So please, I want you to take a look at this video. Thank you so much, Adam, for that. James, for that. Please let me get ready the first of that video as well, which I think is just a minute long as well. But what I wanted to say, you will see from that video a panoramic view of Durham University and the city. Because of the size of our city here and the university, there's a sort of synergy and integration of a vibrancy between the city and the university. So we're a city-based campus university, where within your college, within your accommodation and the academic department, the city is just about 5 minutes walking distance to anywhere that you want to read within the university and the city itself. We're, in terms of the configuration, we are a college-based system where we offer what is called collegiate system, which is very similar to Oxford and Cambridge, but quite distinctively different in the sense that, unlike Oxford and Cambridge, where students are taught in their various and housed within the college of the study where they will be doing. For us, academic departments are where you'll be doing anything academic in your college. That is where you have the opportunity for student support. But you will appreciate, you would have noticed during the course of these talks, both by the PMW, NCUK, as well as Durham, one thing that is very consistent across the three discussions that we've been having today is about support. Support. And that is what is also Durham University that we continue to build on. The support that you've been given by your international foundation here at PMW, that will continue when you get to Durham University. And as a university, we're actually well positioned to be able to do that. And in fact, that is actually where we excel the most in terms of the support we provide to the student, which we call wider student experience. And that is one of the key USPs for Durham University, unique selling point. And you will see that the support is hugely important, particularly during this era of pandemic. And you will see from that video, short video that we shared with you, you will see that the wide range of support that we provide to our students, how health and safety and the overall well-being of our students and our staff are very important to the university. And that is what we continue to build on. Please, James, can I have the short second video, please? Thank you.
Yes, I'm struggling.
While James is doing that, what I also want to do is that you will see the building behind me, which is my background, which is called college, which is a sort of castle college, and it's a castle built over 1,000 years ago. So as a university, we have a long years of history and reputation of delivering quality and international education that is well recognized worldwide. In the context of Africa, for example, we have a very vibrant alumni network that are based and operating in Nigeria, with branches in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, and across the board. In the context of Kenya, we have a very vibrant alumni network that are based in Nairobi as well as in Mombasa. So I visit those places to continue to support our alumni network almost every 2 to 3 times per year. Also in South Africa, where we have a large student population, also we have a lot of students as well as alumni network across those regions. Please enjoy the video, which is, I think, about 30 seconds. Thank you. Thank you very much again, James and colleagues, for joining us. So, and I think what we shared in that sort of 30 seconds video also was just to highlight the wide range of inspiring, extraordinary activities that we are doing here at Durham University, as we want to contribute to making significant progress and making significant contribution to the bigger issues across the world. And some of those videos you will see, our graduate employability is very important to us. We are currently ranked number 40 in the world in terms of employability and attractiveness of the quality of our degree, and for which we continue to ensure that we provide extraordinary experience for all our students to be able to ensure that they achieve all their potential. But at this stage, the sort of work that we are doing with MPW as well as NCUK, we continue to ensure that any student from those sort of areas with quality qualifications, they're able to progress into our programs here. And we look forward to the opportunity to welcoming you to our beautiful campus. Over to you, James. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So once again, guys, you can always type questions into the chat box, or you can also raise your hand if you would like to ask a question as well. I can see that one of the students who has logged in, Amauche, has risen your hand. So I'm just going to allow your microphone so that you can ask the question aloud if you prefer. Okay, Amauche. So you can unmute the microphone if you would like to ask a question aloud, or you can type it into the chat box. Okay, so we've also got here my colleague Damalola. So Damalola is based in Lagos. Damalola, I don't know if you would like to say a few things and perhaps also introduce one of our students who is with us today as well.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today on this webinar. We have one of our alumni students who just finished the NCUK Foundation program and progressing to Aston University. She's on the call with us this morning, and so far she's done exceedingly well, and we are proud of her. And she's here to share one or two experiences with you about her journey with MPW and through NCUK and how that has helped. Can you please unmute your mic?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm in fun.
We can see you.
Hi.
Can you hear me? So can you from MPW through the support you got and how you were able to achieve your grades and make it to your choice university?
The number one thing I would say is try not to procrastinate and always ask for support when you need it. Because with me, at first, it may seem like maybe you want to get a feel of how the environment is. But one thing I would say is the teachers are always ready to support you as long as you just are open and you ask for help. That was one thing. They were really supportive. Basically, during teaching hours and even sometimes like after 5, I would like message one of my teachers on Teams, especially towards exams, about like a question I would have, and they would take time out of their day to reply and respond. And they were just very supportive. So that's one thing I would say. Ask for help when you need it. Don't procrastinate. Get your work done on time. Try as much as possible to stay ahead of deadlines. Once you are given work, try to just get a head start on it. So towards the deadline, you're not under so much pressure, especially with coursework and exams almost clashing. So as soon as you get your coursework, just start handling it as soon as possible, because if you leave it towards the deadline, you will try to be balancing doing your coursework and also preparing for exams, which is really difficult. So it's just better to handle coursework once it's given so you can focus on preparing for your exams.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Can you please give us a brief summary of the subjects you did while you were at MPW and how that has helped you to achieve where you're going right now, and yeah, just give us a brief summary of why you picked that particular course.
Okay, I was on the Humanities Pathway. So the Humanities and Business Pathway, they're kind of similar. The only difference is that instead of math, the Humanities Pathway, we do society and politics. So I would say really do deep research into the course you want to study in university so that the subject choice you do in college would be a strong foundation for that in university. So with the Humanities Pathway, I did business studies. I did EAP was compulsory for all pathways. I did EAP, I did economics, and I did society and politics. So those subjects are key for the course I want to study, which is marketing. And yeah, I just feel like once you know what you want to study, the subjects you do, it won't be as hard. Like, yes, the work is tasking, but because it's in line with what you want to study, it kind of, I think, motivates you a bit because it gives you an insight into what you will be studying in university. So I think that was what helped me because I already had an idea of the course or career pathway I wanted to achieve in the future. So those subjects, I knew, okay, this is what is in line with what I want to do. So it was kind of easier for me.
Thank you very much for that. James, do you have anything to ask?
No, so Mfon, thank you once again for joining us. And it would be great if you could just hang around a little bit in case some of our students would like to ask you a question about your own personal experience. We do have some questions coming into the chat box already. I'm going to start with the question from Amauche, which is about medicine and progression to medicine. So I'm going to have to apologize in my response to Dr. Liadi because I don't believe that we have progressions to Durham for medicine. Do correct me though if I'm wrong. However, we at MPW, we do have two different routes to medicine. So we've got A levels, which you've identified in your question, and there is also the NCUK Foundation program as well. Now, NCUK Foundation Year in Science is actually one of the very few foundation programs in the UK where progression to medicine or dentistry is a possibility. And we do have a nice brochure about all of the different medical or dentistry schools that you can progress to from the course. Now, because it's a one-year program, it's really, really important that you arrive really well prepared and ready to go, because the deadline for medical schools in the UK is around October. So if you start the course with us in September, you don't have a lot of time to get everything ready. So you would need to research things such as aptitude tests like UCAT and BMAT, and you would need to develop work experience to make yourself a really strong candidate, because 1 month is potentially not enough time to be able to do all of this. If you are well prepared, then the NCUK Foundation Year will give you a great chance of that, and we have had students receive offers for medicine from it before. If, however, maybe where you are, you find it a little bit more difficult to get the work experience, or you don't have access to the UCAT test, then, you know, across 2 years, we can give you a greater amount of support. That could be through 2-year A levels, that could be through doing something else for a year, and then moving on to the NCUK in your second year, because our medical preparation program, which we run alongside, can offer some additional support. I've just seen Adam pop up. I don't know, Adam, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I've been hovering in the background the whole time though. Yeah, so really just emphasizing what James said about everything except the A level and NCUK IFY is important. So you're saying which one gives the best option? Well, really, they both are similar in that you'll need to get grades AAA pretty much. And if you use that as a starting point, great, you've got them grades. Well, what's next? Well, you need the UCAT, you need BMAT, you need to pass the interviews, you need to have work experience. So all of those are incredibly important for any application. So a student might have AAA grades in A level, they might have AAA grades in our foundation, but everything else is incredibly important. So I think if the student is capable of getting those AAA grades, then yeah, come on to the NCUK Foundation and they'll have an excellent chance. But they can't disregard everything else because the universities will treat those as essential requirements, not just additional. advantageous requirements. So yes, so go for the foundation, but as James said, hit the ground running.
Good. And I think Dr. Liadi would like to add on to that.
Oh, yes. I just wanted to re-echo what colleagues have said here. Everything is hugely important, and you are quite correct, James. Here at Durham University, we don't offer medicine. So in the past, we used to do that in conjunction with Newcastle University. We've now transferred everything back to Newcastle, so we do not offer medical programs. Once again, a university like Durham University, we assess the totality of the applicant profile, not only in terms of the grade. We look at what is called personal statement. So personal statement is hugely important to a university like ours, because the amount of talent and the caliber of students applying to a university like ours very similar to you guys that you are here. There are A stars and straight A students who are applying. It may be the personal statement, but maybe the difference between. And getting that sort of personal quality and competitive personal statement means that you have the sort of support and the extracurricular activities and opportunities that are provided during the sort of foundation year, if you like. So which ensure that you are able to have a very competitive edge in terms of making applications to a university, a top university like Durham University. Thank you.
Okay, good. We're going to move slightly now from medicine to physiotherapy, because Jennifer has a question about physiotherapy. Maybe Adam, we'll start with you on this one. So which foundation program would you recognize as the best stream in order to progress to physiotherapy?
Well, the ones we've been discussing really already today, the science/medicine stream at MPW. Yeah, that would be the easy choice to do that. And you say London to be specific. Well, as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter where the foundation is studied and which of the streams, as we call them, are taken. The student can progress to any of the NCUK universities after that. So the options will be there to go to a London university, but the options will be there to progress to a different NCUK university. It doesn't matter at the point of entry for the student when they begin at MPW. They're doing that foundation, and they can apply to London universities. They can apply to universities even outside the UK, and that does not affect what they're studying during the academic year. So they can start the program at MPW, and then they can really start to investigate which universities are the best fit for them, whether it's London or elsewhere.
Excellent. And there's a follow-up question on there as well, which is asking about scholarships. So Damilola could explain a little bit about the MPW scholarship structure in a little bit. But Adam, would you like to add something on about onward scholarships when progressing to university after the foundation?
So there's a few different things. I mean, we've probably all got ones we can say which is specific to each organization. So NCUK itself as a qualification, we don't have huge scholarships of our own because of the nature of who we are, but we do have certain things which are useful, like prize awards, where students can receive award if they're the best performing student at in a country, or best performing student across the network. They get certain ones, and we do have some scholarships which are specific to NCUK and the universities, some that we've established with the university which are not offered elsewhere, which will typically be a few £1,000s. We have to be realistic when it's scholarships. If it's the UK, you're not likely to be getting 100% or even 50% scholarship. That's just the way it is in the UK. But we do have some special scholarships that are available of a few £1,000s. And beyond that, if it's just the scholarships that are available at Durham or any other university, well, we'll be able to let the student and let the representatives know what's available, when the deadlines are, who's suitable for them. So they're not specific to NCUK, but because the student support is there, we're making sure that the students don't miss those opportunities that are out there. So that's what we offer.
Fantastic. I think Dr. Liadi would like to add on to that as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I was just going to add by saying that as a as a partner of NCUK, where we accept the qualifications, the foundation program that are being delivered, we provide a wide range of international scholarships for our students. But overall, I wanted to say that scholarships are very, very competitive by nature. Is more often than not, they're always based on academic excellence. So the first thing is you want to make yourself investable. Why should people invest in you? So that is very, very important that you get top grades. And you also have very, very exceptional personal statement to say, oh, we are interested in sort of investing in this person. The sort of international scholarship, which I think is already been highlighted by our colleagues here, there's no possibility of getting 100% scholarships. You can only get potentially certain percentage. Here at Durham University, we are launching what is called a global scholarship for all our students who are applying from certain 5 strategic priority countries. And I'm pleased to say that Nigeria is one of those countries in Africa that we've highlighted. And over a 3-year period for our undergraduate program, the successful students who are able to come to Durham, they'll be given £5,000 per year over 3 years. So over the 3-year period, they'll be able to have £15,000. We're investing in them. So the most important thing is selection will be very competitive. And of course, our partners like NCUK, MPW, they'll be able to promote this sort of a scholarship when it is launched. So the first cohort of students will be enrolling here in 2022, and we very much look forward to welcoming students who are able to meet those requirements. Once again, we're a very top university, and we look forward to, and that will be open to all applicants from certain countries that we have prioritized and identified. Thank you.
Thanks. I've just put something in the chat box as well, James, which is a link to scholarships at NCUK universities. It's for the 2021-22 academic year. So Durham are not on there yet because they're a new partner. So when we update this soon for the following academic year, you'll be able to find ones at Durham as well. But that'll have information about the scholarships I just mentioned.
Brilliant. And I think that will help Catlo, who has just asked as well about the countries of the scholarships. So Catlo, if you follow that link, you should get the full link of the advertised scholarships that come directly to NCUK students that NCUK students are eligible to apply for. Okay, good. We've got some follow-up medical questions from Amauche asking about whether the age of 20 matters. So we can accept you age 20 in MPW Cambridge. That is no problem. And I would say that universities are quite experienced in receiving applications from what we call mature medics. It's very common for students to change their career path and decide later on that they would like to study medicine. So I don't believe that your age should cause too much of a barrier there in terms of getting acceptance. It might even be an opportunity because maybe you've had the opportunity to get more work experience over the past couple of years as well. If you don't already have work experience, then we can help you to get that. We more recently, over the pandemic times, we've actually been helping some of our students out with online experiences. So even though it might be more difficult to get into hospitals or care homes or other care environments, there are workarounds and there are online experiences that you can still do to very much show that you've researched well what the potential professions you want to go to in the future look like, and that you've really done your background research. Good. Another question from Jennifer asking if the NCUK starts in January. Yes, we have a January intake in MPW Birmingham. So if you are interested in that, then the applications are open. And I should say that any students who are interested in applying for September, if you're well prepared, then there is still time to enroll. Maybe you already have rights to study in the UK. Otherwise, you can start your course online if you need a couple of extra weeks to apply for the visa. And then we can try to get you here as soon as possible. But January is also a possibility if you want to just feel more organized and be ready to hit the ground running in January as well. Good. Do we have any more questions for any of our speakers today, whether that's Adam or Dr. Liadi or Mfon or Damalola?
Or you, James.
Or myself, of course, sorry. Okay, no problem. We'll give it a couple more minutes, but while we wait for that, Damalola, would you like to offer some closing remarks for everybody that's logged in today?
Okay, there are still some questions coming in.
Back up.
Yeah.
Let me help with these. So for Jennifer, asking about working during study. It's not possible during the foundation year, but it will be possible when you progress to university. Dr. Liadi, do you want to talk a little bit more about working rights for international students while studying?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, I think it's well recognized by the UK Home Office, the government unit that are controlling the way students interact and immigration and what is possible to be done once you are here. And I think there's always been a sort of a long-standing tradition. When someone like me, myself, when I came here about 25 years ago, they've always had the opportunity that if you're an international student, during term times, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week during term times. That is when study is going on, which I think is fair enough, which I think is well over half of 37.5 hours per week, that even if you are in full-time employment, is a recognition that you got to be in your classroom, you got to focus on your study to ensure that you get a return on investment of what you are here to do in the first instance. So you're allowed to, by law, you'll be allowed to work 20 hours a week during term time, and over the summer period, which is usually about 3-month period, you can then work full-time if you like. But my general advice is that while you have that option, this might vary from degree to degree. Example, my background is in science. We spend a lot of time in the laboratory, so doing a wide range of experimental analysis and doing a lot of work. We know that it's not possible for us to even engage in that sort of 20 hours. During the weekend that we have, that is when we are writing our report and catching up on things. So it is hugely important that you focus and get the best results on what you are here to do in the first instance, because often than not, people get carried away by being able to earn some money as part of that part-time sort of work, which is not actually what you are here for. Eventually, even if people are making money, instead for you to get either distinction or first class, and you get carried away and you end up getting a 2-2, for example, this will affect your career forever. And even the money that you've made while working 20 hours per week will never compensate for it forever. So it is hugely important that you stay focused. And the other good news is that the UK government, since we left the EU, we are now Global Britain, which is now actually providing additional opportunity for students from around the world. And I think the people that we benefit from this sort of a new scheme, some of the students from Sub-Saharan Africa, India, and the rest, where we have seen, so we call it a post-work study visa or post-work study work opportunity. That is, once you complete your undergraduate, you're allowed to work and stay around for about 2 years for you to be able to get a professional opportunity. So that fits in very well with what we've been saying, that if you focus on your study, ensure that you get the best and top grade for you to be able to get into the professional career opportunity. So yes, as James said, people are allowed to work 20 hours per week and also be able to work full-time during summer break. And in addition, once you successfully complete your qualification here, you'll be allowed to stay around in the UK for 2 years. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Similarly to working, there's also a question about internships. And I believe that the student visa rights for below degree level for internships are actually very similar to the requirements for part-time work. So I believe that it is difficult to take internships below degree level on a UK student visa. However, there are a growing emergence actually now of virtual internships. And because virtual internships take place online, there's less of a restriction on this because you could be doing this from everywhere. And obviously during the pandemic, a culture of home working has has grown quite a lot, and digital becomes more important. So there are organizations who are offering these opportunities. A lot of them at the moment are kind of like in e-marketing or digital marketing or digital media. So if you're looking to progress into business or something like that, then you're going to see the most opportunity there. But this is something that you probably want to do in your holidays. You want to really, when you're doing the foundation year, you want to really put everything into getting the good grades and getting the qualification. And then if you do have the time, maybe over Christmas or Easter or preferably summer, to get something else that you can add on to your personal statement, then an internship is a very nice thing to consider. We've got a question from Oscar, which is, what is the duration of learning per week? So in the standard intake, the September intake, students study for 4 hours per week in each of their subject modules. So that would be, if you're doing science, for example, biology, chemistry, maths. If you're doing humanities at the other end of the scale, that will be your business, economics, and society and politics. You will most intensively study your English for academic purposes or English for proficient users or research and communication skills, which is very important. Even if you are a proficient English speaker, this is the module that is going to help you to hit the ground running when you start at university. So, you want to be able to start on day one knowing how to write an academic piece of writing, knowing how to reference it correctly, knowing how to write a bibliography and everything else like that. So 20 hours in total for your kind of core modules. And then obviously we'll add some extra things on that, such as your personal tutor time, lecture experience, and anything else that you might need. Good. If there are any other questions, then please do ask them now. I'm very conscious that some of you guys have now been logged in for an hour, so thank you very much for your patience and for listening to us today. I appreciate that we're now about 16 months into many webinars and Zoom calls, so it's really greatly appreciated that you guys are here today. Damilola, shall we take things over to you?
So I just got a private question, and I would like Adam in particular to talk on it. For students who want to study law, because we've been going a little back and forth on it. A parent is wondering why the students will have to do business studies on the Humanities Pathway, because what you have to do is EAP, business studies, society and politics and economics. So they are wondering why you have to do business studies, because the student does not have any knowledge of it. So I'd like you to talk on that, Adam.
Well, it's just what the universities require to enter the degree program. So they don't specify anything specific to law prior to beginning the degree. So what we do is we offer modules which have a wide variety of learning, the skills that are gained from studying those modules, which will stand them in good stead when they progress to the law degree. So if you're an English student, a British student who studies A levels in the UK, it's often very similar. You'll study different modules entirely unrelated to the degree that you go on to. Well, what we're trying to do with the foundation is not make them entirely unrelated. They're learning skills which are transferable, but because the universities don't require that specific law module before they progress to a law degree, we don't offer that. So I mean, that's what we do in a broader sense. Is there anything, James, specific to MPW which you want to add to that?
I don't think so. I think that sums it up pretty well. And I think, business studies is quite an essay-based subject. So, it provides you with good experience, and it opens doors to progress to more kind of business-related law degrees as well.
Yeah. If there's any reassurance that's needed for the student, I mean, it really is the case that they're not in any way whatsoever behind anybody else when they begin the degree. The students who will be on the degree, the British students, as I mentioned, who are on the degree, they're all coming from a similar background at that point. So they're not going to come equipped with a huge amount of law knowledge that this student wouldn't have. They'll all be starting ready to hit the ground running. Sorry, Dr. Liadi, do you want to add something there?
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity. I was just going to re-echo what colleagues have said here from the sort of university perspective. As a top university here in the UK, we are number 3 in law in the UK with a variety of international acceptance of our program around the world. So what I just wanted to add was to re-echo what has been said. We do not have it as a prerequisite to come and study our law program here. We do not have any specific prerequisite that students to have undertaken any law sort of courses or modules or any program or even any experience of any sort. And very similar to the UK students, people with, or even any international student with either A levels or IB, any equivalencies, they will not be disadvantaged. They'll be starting on a sort of level playing field like all their colleagues. So they are not disadvantaged for doing any that sort of a pathway, sort of a program, if you like. So just to add to that, and we believe the sort of a transferable skills they will be gaining from that sort of module we actually benefit them, because a law program is all about sort of preparing your portfolio, writing a lot of writing materials, being able to have a sort of discussions of what you are critical analysis. All those things will be provided in the sort of modules and pathways they are going to be put in during their foundation year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. I'm sure that clears it and that sorts it. So, okay, if we have any more questions, if you'd like to know more about MPW, NCUK courses, I'm going to share my email address now, and you can send me an email, ask any questions you have. And yes, if you're ready to start with us in September, you have all your documents, you're very welcome. And if you would like to start in January as well, you're very welcome. You can get things rolling. With that being said, thank you everyone for being a part. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
From Durham University, thank you so much for the opportunity. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye.
Great to meet you. Thank you.
Thank